Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing awesome. Today, I want to tell you about the story about Yahushua. In 2005, my grandmother passed away, and she was, even though I grew up with my parents, she was like my main caretaker emotionally, like a fairy godmother, the mother of my mother. So I really needed a lot of answers and things, and she always got me to get near God. She was always like, get close to God. She would always talk to me about God in my rebellion years. She would always want me to go back to God, and she would always pray for me a lot and have me in her prayers continually, and always like very much love to me. So I was like really wanting God to talk to me, right? So I was in the driving from Mexico City to Quintana Roo, and when I was passing to through Veracruz, like crossing through there, I was always praying for my country because I thought, God, I like help all my country. It's not just me who needs you, but everybody here in Mexico. They need you so much. My like your people, they suffer so much. Why do the poor people, they're good people, why do they suffer so much? I was so in pain because of the people, and I was asking God for them, as well as I was telling him, I love you and everything, because years before, when I was 16, when I was in the beach one day, when I cried to him like Jacob did, like really fighted against God in a way, because I was shouting and saying, "Where are you? You brought me here. Why did you brought me to this earth?" And la la la. He showed up, and I knew he was God, and he pulled me forward in life. And later, when I was like about 25, I heard his name, Yahuwah. He revealing his name to me understanding personally, just like in a vision, not like anybody told me. I couldn't trust no man ever. I don't know why. So I would trust him to talk to me. I was waiting for him to talk to me, because if he wouldn't, I would be lost forever. I was like, please talk to me, tell me something. And I would be listening, quiet, waiting for him to talk. And I remember very much the moment I got this connection to his name. He brought me to this land of, he like in a vision. I got brought to the south of, like of Africa, kind of. Yeah, it was Africa, the country. I was brought into the vision, but at the same time, I could see his whole light on top of all the world, and he was shining upon me there, telling me his name, and it was just an amazing experience. But I kept his name deep in my heart, knowing the truth about it, and trying to call him through that name every time I would address him. So I didn't talk to people about it. I just went on my life, right? So when uh, when this happened in my trip from Mexico City to Quintana Roo, like I said, I was in a very sad situation because I lost my grandmother, which was almost my mother, because my mother had me when she was 18. So my grandmother kind of adopted me in a way, a little bit. I was her first grandchild, and she used to say that when I was born, her heart just went to me, and her eyes illuminated, and she forever loved me and could never let go of me. She was the most sweet person on the earth for me. Um, the thing is that I heard the voice of Yahushua directly, because I said, I said I didn't know exactly the name Yahushua in that moment. I just knew Jesus, but I didn't call him like that. I said Jesus, or I would say like like the old Greek name. Somehow I had this feeling that that was the way I could communicate with him somehow. I was raised in a Catholic church. I mean, raised not in a Catholic church, but I was raised in a Catholic religion. But I have Jewish blood. I just did my ADN test in a part of me, not all of it, but it shows me why I was so. And my name Tanya is Hebrew, and I was always connected. I would cry knowing that my name was Hebrew. I felt so connected to God since I'm a child that I was like, there's no way I'm not part of His family. I know I'm part of Him. I just knew it always, and I always say, and since I'm a child, I had a 2 years old. I had a vision of God in a supermarket telling me, I am your father, and seeing all His light again above me, covering me. And my grandmother also showing me the Heavenly Father prayer when I was 1 year old in my cradle, and making me kneel, even though I was a baby. but she was putting my hands together and showing me how I should pray to the Father because we were not alone on this earth and I could rely on Him. So the whole room illuminated when I was 1 year old, and He illuminated through the night the room, so I was not afraid as a baby. So I definitely remember Him always. So when I cried to God about it, and then I recalled Jesus, well, let's say Jesus, or how in that moment how I felt Him like the real person that was so humble and beautiful that nobody really understood so well because somehow they could not get their benefits that He would promise, and I was like, and me neither, because I was half yes but half not, because one part of me lived in the reality of everybody else and I would get swapped by it and not, be completely free. So, but still I had Him, so I was like, okay, I'll wait. And I always had consolation angels coming to me in my difficulties. So I thought I can go through it, right? So when I cried to Him, I heard very clearly, because like I connected to Israel in that moment energetically. I just felt the 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 the, the, the smell of Israel. It just came to my nose like that, and I was going into the, like I'm telling you, the highway, and I felt, and I heard, these people don't even know my name, don't even know who I am, and they don't even know my name, because I was telling why, if the people in Mexico look so devout and they seem to really love Him, or want Him, because they pray so much, they do so much devotion, that kind of thing that people all over the world know about the Mexicans, like they have this faith, but it's the wrong doctrine, right? So he said, they don't even know me, and they don't even know me by my name. So I was so humbled when I heard him saying that, and I felt so sad, and I felt so sad, and I remembered he was Jewish, and I thought, oh my God, they don't even know him because he's not the way they think he is, number one. Thinking in the real character who he is, like, it was a different being, it was a different presence of whatever I saw or learned what the Catholic Church or people in Mexico perceived him as to be. They don't even knew who he was, number one. Number two, the name. And my name is Yahushua, and I could hear Yahushua. And yet I didn't know anything yet about so much about Hebrew to understand Yahushua means God's salvation. But I repeated the name Yahushua, and I thought, oh my God, that's why, because they're so lost away